crew, 25th of Feb 2013. Same crew as last time. You got myself, Timpe, with Kid, Midas, Gandhi, Heinrich, Screw, and yeah. What's up, guys?
Nothing much.
No?
Yeah, not
same as usual?
Yeah, pretty much.
All,
Just
all good in the hood.
Yeah, man.
It's been a long week.
sober this time.
Sober this time.
Yeah,
Some quality may drop.
Less of a party animal.
I won't be talking so much.
Yeah, I can't exactly pour any funny down me this time.
Nah, we were all coming up here from our place to meet Screw here at the studio, and there was a car accident just outside the studio, and the first thing I thought was Screw. So I'm
okay though. He's safe.
running up the hill and all the rest of it, and I've got
I heard
police.
someone shouting my name. I could hear in the distance, Tom. Shit, what's going on?
Yeah. She just running straight up the hill, just trying to finish my cigarettes. The thought of running makes me tired, let alone actually doing it. Just let you go on your own.
I know. Why did you grab the suitcase?
Just grab the case and just
I trailing it up there, like some old woman running
Well,
the
I
bingo.
thought the theory was if I grabbed the suitcase, the rest of you wouldn't have an excuse not to run. However,
You just look stupid.
How long have you known me now?
Bright
You'll
blue
find an
suitcase.
excuse or anything, so...
it's true. It's true.
Yeah, I wish I'd seen what happened though. I was walking along Park Lane, like it must have been like minutes before, and then I seen like loads of like police and video vans go past, and I'm thinking, what is going on around here? Like, it was like obviously something happening close by. Then I turned the corner and I seen it. I was like, oh fuck, this is not good.
So did the police? Had the police just got there, or was it before
I
the
think
police
so.
even got there?
No, well there was less than what was there when you guys were there.
Yeah,
There was only a couple of things, and more started coming.
Yeah.
And then there was loads of commotion with cars that were trying to like
roadblocks and everything, wasn't
Yeah,
there?
there was
man.
like 3 cars waiting and like not arguing, but like kind of like what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
Because obviously they didn't know what was going on, and then it kind of calmed down. And I just felt like a fucking like a knobhead just
Stood there
like
watching.
in the middle of it all, just surrounded by all these cars. Like, oh my god, what is going on?
Yeah.
It's a good crash though.
Good
Sorry.
crash.
No, there's always... I know you sigh, you know, look how dark he's being, but there's that part of everyone that when you see cop cars or you're on a motorway and there's a roadblock, there's that part of you that wants to just slow down and have a good mosey.
Yeah,
at
it's like
what's
human
going on.
nature in it. To be
That's
honest.
why you get tailbacks for miles when there's like fender benders. On
Yeah, exactly,
Bloody
and you
A1.
want to get your money's worth. You want to at least see something at the end of the traffic.
Plus,
Half the time they don't do anything though.
Yeah,
That's what upsets me.
Yeah, exactly.
If it's fireballs and shit, I don't mind being stuck in a queue for 3 hours. But you know, most of the time it's
You want to at least see like a head or...
oh god.
yeah.
Oh,
yeah, but then you sort of feel bad when you see that, and you feel bad for stopping. Like,
No,
at least
see-
if you see something like this, you can think, oh, well, it's not as bad if I'm stood looking, because like no one's hurt, but you know someone's fucked up.
No, I've seen one car crash. It was coming off. It was on the M62 coming off the slip road from Bradford, going. No, it was Huddersfield. Sorry, going towards Manchester, and this car with a family in it, like this old woman, kid, blah blah blah, and it's going along the motorway. Lorry comes out of the slip road, hits the back of it. It's like pinball.
oh god.
Door flies open. Old woman just flies out across the road.
Oh my
way.
god.
Shit, that's well bad that.
Should have been wearing a seatbelt, but still, it was all the lights and lost all the shopping as well. Like that
What was she going through your head when that happens?
Like I said, lost the
Just-
shopping. So.
Yeah.
So you were just driving and seeing that happen?
No, it was when I was a kid, like my dad was driving, coming back from holiday. So
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's what you remember about that holiday, innit?
yeah, exactly.
It's,
But-
it's funny, man.
so
First,
all I remember about the holidays as a child were that car crash and how much I fucking hated caravans.
Speaking of car accidents, so have you seen Google's sort of making a robot car which drives itself? What do you
Oh,
think of that?
to do the images stuff for the Google car.
Mm-hmm.
What, like a maps one that would do the satellite?
The car sort of like drives itself.
Well,
yeah.
I heard something about that. They've been, I don't know who it was. It might have been the Google one, but they've been testing that.
You might have seen it on
a
top,
car
yeah.
that can drive itself, and they got it to drive. I can't remember, like, so don't quote it. I can't remember how far, but they got it to do a certain amount, like 50 miles or something. Or it must have been a lot more than that actually. But they found that the only accidents it had had like 2 accidents, and they were from other people crashing into it. So they
Really?
reckon this like robot car would be safer than
That's
a normal
insane.
drive.
Well, saying that though, it's
That's
only had
weird.
2 accidents, other people crashing into it.
Yeah.
They don't explain it in more detail.
No.
For
Yeah,
example,
true,
this
quite
car was
biased.
like driving backwards like into a busy crossroads where the lights weren't working. So it turns out this robot's a complete fucking asshole. People did crash into it, yeah, but it was
Yeah.
the fucking robot's
Yeah, it's
fault.
good point.
So.
2 crashes is pretty dangerous.
Yeah, 2 crashes. What? They're not
But-
going to test it more than like 6 months or something.
No.
But still, it's an interesting possibility. I remember
You saw.
I don't understand it though. It's like, oh yeah, new Google car. It's going around taking photos with Google Earth and that. It's like, why not just have a fucking person driving it? Like they've done it in the past. If it's not, if it's not broken, don't try and fix it. It's like humans going to do a decent job. It's like let's spend millions of dollars making a car that drives itself. It'll
But
just
that'll take out human error though, so that's
no, well,
sort of an
it's the
advantage.
future.
yeah, but saying that though, you got to take into account like human reaction times and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But it's essentially the way that I see it is that they're spending millions of dollars to do one guy out of a job.
Yeah,
So-
also I was thinking, it's
Like,
not good.
the guy that drove it originally is that much of a colossal dick. And then they're spending millions of pounds because they don't want to let him down. It's just like, oh, this is the only thing the guy's qualified to do. Is drive the Google image car. Like, apart from that, he's fucked, so they need to find some colossal way to dwindle him out of it. You kind of say, like, you know what, we don't like you, you're fired,
Yeah, I think it's as well though. It's, even though it's like impressive and you're like, oh, you're this new robot car, it's amazing and like it's something to talk about. But if they keep advancing stuff like that, it's going to get to the point where there's like nothing. Like people say, there's no jobs, less jobs,
Yeah.
less jobs.
Don't
What
let
they're
the
gonna
big,
do
don't
when
get
there's a
the
robot for
don't get the
everything.
big don't let the bigots get on of that. It's like, oh, they're coming to our country taking our jobs. Oh, they're building all these robots taking our jobs.
Yeah,
I
well,
remember when we all used to work on the nuclear waste dumps, and all the robots are taking all the jobs.
That's the future though. Like some weird like robot apocalypse where they're like,
Yeah, that's
like
what.
the Y2K stuff with photo. Like,
That's,
Yeah,
that's,
well,
what, that's what the Google guy thought when he lost his job. He's like, robots are taking over the world. God. Find him on a street corner with a bottle of white lightning preaching.
Yeah, right. There'll probably be some next religion formed out of it or something like fucking the Antichrist, the
Yeah.
anti-robot.
I was gonna say, it's just scary the way technology's developed in our lifetime. And we've seen the majority of it, like from kind of how it started, like old BBC computers on massive floppy disks to what we've got now. We've lived through all of it, so we know it all.
Powerful 3.5-inch floppy disk. I
No,
remember
not even
those.
the 3.5 inch. Remember the massive BBC one?
Yeah,
There was.
That's before my time.
that
That's a bit
was.
depressing.
Do you remember that time?
No, what I do remember though, like just like random adverts and stuff that me and my mates have been flicking through, the old laser discs
Laserdisc.
that they had before.
Oh, like
they've
MIDI
been-
disc players.
Well, yeah, but it was also mini disc. It's more like twice the size of a vinyl, and you can watch Indiana Jones on 7 of them.
Really?
And they had like, there's an advert for it. Leonard Nimoy is doing the advert. And is essentially talking to a talking rock that explains this laserdisc player, but it's just the most horrible backwards piece of machinery ever.
So I'm taking it didn't do too well.
No, it did not at all. No,
Wow.
How old's that like? Is that,
it's like 70s, 80s.
oh, that's quite a while.
Yeah.
yeah, before all our time.
Yeah.
Was it about VHS? Did you have VHS screw?
Yeah, of course we had.
Yeah,
house,
I
didn't
remember
we?
What house didn't have a video?
Huh?
What house didn't have a video in the 90s?
It's true. Yeah, video players.
No,
were-
Videos
no,
were
DVD
bomb, I
would
loved my
come
videos.
through.
No, right,
There was a
right.
while.
DVD was more dominant then. All down
There was a while that I remember where everybody, for like loads of kids in my like junior school class or some shit, got TVs with video players like built
Yeah.
into them
Yeah, I
for
got
Christmas.
I got
Uh-huh.
one of those.
Yeah, I got one of those.
Really?
Well, I had one, yeah.
Oh god. I must have been an unprivileged child.
I didn't have one, don't we?
There we go. Cool. We're all in this together. We're all in this.
You probably had a
together.
Blu-ray one?
Sorry?
He probably had a Blu-ray one?
Ahead of its time.
Yeah.
That's a future got that. Blu-ray combo.
Yeah, well, it's like now don't they say now like this is what me and Midas do in sociology, like the Industrial Revolution. This is like meant to be like our version of it, but like the technological one. So we don't really
Like the technological
Mm.
so in,
revolution
like,
as opposed
100
to the
years when
industrial.
it's slowed down, they'll look back and go, oh, imagine that, and like
They
we'll be
had
really
no
old.
idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll be like,
Holy shit.
oh, I didn't even realise it was happening.
Didn't even look at it that way.
Yeah.
Like,
So,
the last of the Victorians must have realised what cunts the Victorians were. Like, looking back on it, this was a really bad idea. And I think that, exactly as you say, like, that there'll be people who look back at us who think they had no idea what they were doing with, I don't know, a fucking nuclear power or some material we're starting to use now, like titanium or something that turns out gives everybody cancer in like 30 years time or something.
Everything gives you cancer though. Well, according to the Daily Mail anyway.
It's true. I remember carrots and swimming were two of my personal favourites that were apparently gave you cancer for a while.
I mean swimming, sorry.
They made a song about that though, didn't they? Stuff about the Daily Mail things giving you cancer.
Yeah.
Really?
And some comedian did a song about it, like just like listed off like sort of
That's fantastic.
everything they've said. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Like, do you know that what's it called?
The periodic table song.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, like that song. That's pretty cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And what's that called again?
I'm not sure what the comedian is, but I think
Russell
it's
Howard.
called
Russell Howard.
Russell Howard. What is it?
I don't know what the song's called exactly, but it's Russell Howard. So.
Russell
the
Howard.
Daily Mail.
Things that Daily Mail like say give you cancer song or something.
Probably will be that.
If you YouTube that.
Where people who come up to me and say, "Oh, smoking's bad for you," it's like, no shit. It winds me up. It's like, "Oh, you'll get cancer from that." It's like, well, everything gives you cancer. I enjoy smoking, so I may as well enjoy doing something that. It's like worrying about getting cancer from smoking will give me cancer, so I may as well just.
Or cancer though.
Well,
so effectively, when you're smoking that, you're giving like five other people who don't smoke cancer.
well, fuck it. I probably don't like those 5 other people.
But also, it's like one of us four.
It's true. You're killing us. You're killing us, Heinrich.
I'm gonna die sometime anyway. We'll be chemo buddies. I don't know. Shave our heads together.
I was gonna say it would just be 5 bald dudes.
Just go down to bloody
I haven't got the headship to be bald.
Tesco and buy ourselves a
haven't
couple
got
of
the
dishcloths
head shape
to
to
wrap
be
around our
bald.
heads.
You're worried about that shit.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
That's why I like started to grow my hair.
You do realise when you're wasted one time, your hair's coming off now.
Next time he passes out from all the weed. He's gonna wake up with bald head and cancer. That's gonna be a bad day.
I've never done a drug in my life, so
I've never done a drug in my life.
Good job we didn't drug then, innit?
I don't know. I don't get how people can say that and kind of drank so much alcohol. I've never done a drug. You know,
Because
anybody
alcohol's
knows.
taxed and illegal, that's why.
It's
So.
true.
Even like caffeine didn't do like a study on like the effect of your IQ after you've had like a shitload of marijuana and a shitload of caffeine, and your brain was like less active after the caffeine than it was
after the marijuana.
Yeah.
That's
'Cause
amazing.
It makes people think for themselves, and the government don't want that.
Yeah.
So that's why it's
I
illegal.
agree to
The
that.
government,
Let's get preach.
In all fairness, I don't want that because most of the people I've met over the course of my life have been idiots, and I'd rather not have them thinking for themselves, to be honest. So,
But maybe
no,
they're idiots because they haven't like opened their mind. They find most people who piss you off and that are idiots, they're just like,
But,
they're looking at life like this.
yeah,
Like,
through
just-
like,
and that's why it pisses you off. But
but then you got to take into account the old phrase: "If he had brains, he'd be dangerous." So,
yeah, true, we get a lot more fucked up things probably would happen.
yeah, exactly.
Then again, everyone might just feel peaceful.
Might just be the answer to a utopian world where we figure this shit out.
I don't think I'd like everything to be constantly nice and happy all the time. though,
Well, horrible, wouldn't it?
yeah, because it'd be really, really fucking boring.
Yeah.
Is that
Tim K. Sorry. No, go on.
my bad, that saying? What is it? Good news is no news. Like people just
No
don't
news
want-
is good news. Yeah,
that's
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
No one wants to know.
Exactly. It's like the only reason you watch the news is like going to the cinema and watching a horror film. It's like,
Yeah.
so I'm going to find out what.
That
all
might be the
nice
reason
things
that you
have
watch the
happened in
news, son.
world.
That's not the reason that I watch the news.
No, it's just like
No.
nothing ever good happens on the news.
Media
True.
Studies 101 is news is only newsworthy if it's negative.
Yeah.
And it's
True.
the only reason it's saleable. People,
Create some emotional appeal sort of thing too.
if we're going to link it into John Hobbes, he says humans are just destructive by nature.
That's
I think
Which
that's
is an argument.
yeah, it's an
Yeah.
argument, but I think like the whole like humans being nasty and selfish inherently, it's socially constructed though. It's
Yeah, I
socially
think
and
that.
culturally created idea that we're all assholes.
Yeah, because if you go to like a tribe in like deep in the Amazon that know nothing about, they know none of our knowledge about they would not be. Because they wouldn't be like us. They wouldn't find out one of their tribesmen's been murdered viciously by like some massive tarantula. They wouldn't be like, oh, like, this is amazing. Let's cover it all and tell everyone about it. Like they wouldn't. Like, I think that's the way the world we live now.
They wouldn't get like a massive amount of grain in a storage and think we've got enough to feed everyone, but how can we exploit people to get more and then hoard it off for golden trinkets? So.
Well, you were saying something, Timpe, quite distressing the other day. You were saying this is the best it's going to get. And
yeah, man.
Do you already care to elaborate?
Cash your chips in now, folks.
I don't think in 50 years' time we'll be living in the same sort of luxury. Well, we'll either be living in the same sort of luxury that we live in now, and in another 50 years' time that'll be it. We'll have gone. Or we'll not be living in the same luxury as we do today.
Gone completely? Like
not completely, but
government will be replaced with giant fire-breathing radioactive ants, and we'll be fending for our lives in the human camps that they gather us up into.
It's just the
do like that.
Everything. We're ravaging the planet for all of, and it's kind of like a body. You know, the body can still look like a body, but you can take all the organs out and replace it with stuffing, and it's not gonna you've ripped all the important bits out of it, but as long as it looks okay, then it's all right, folks.
Well, if you look at the course of human history, though, like the time that we're living in presently, we're about due for another game console and a world war. So,
what are you working the World War basis on? It's just been too quiet since 45.
Well,
wars every day
because we had we've had all the world wars, and we've had all the massive wars, like the Revolutionary War in America, and like the War of Independence and everything. Before that, we had the Napoleonic Wars, the 100-Year War, Crimean War, and then you've got the First World War and the Second World War, Vietnam War. We've not had a big, significant war for some time, and we're about brewing.
I think that if you look at the Arab Spring, I think that's the next. What's going to that's almost like that. Is it brewing sort of even if it's not as open, it's not a big world war.
I know
it
what
was in the past, but it's obvious that gap between people rich and poor, first world and third world, shit ain't gonna stay the same. People are
preach,
fuck this,
yeah, man.
Let's
people are realising
it's the natural order of things, though. The whole the meek will inherit the earth and all this. It's not the natural order of things. The powerful will always subdue the weak. It's the natural order of things. The more powerful lion will become head of the pride, and the weaker ones will limp off and lick his wounds under a rock somewhere. And it's the same in human society. The weak and unable humans will be dominated by the more able, more powerful humans, and now that we've developed a sense of morality and it's all wrong, but it's just the way things are. I can't really do anything about it.
I see that, but you can be powerful and be a 8 out of 10 on the cunt to saint scale, or you can be powerful and be a 3 out of 10 on the cunt to saint scale, and I'd sure have good powerful people in charge than bad powerful people, and I think at the minute we've got a pretty bad crop of
good and bad's all relative, though. What one person sees as good, someone else sees as bad, so it's going to be quite hard to get a universal sense of
There's a quote by Neil deGrasse Tyson where he says the thing that's good about science is it's true whether you believe it or not. And the shit that we're pulling out of the earth, there's no way we can replace that, and we're pulling it out of the earth every day, and it's happening whether people would like to admit it or not. And yeah, I think we can do better, and I think the Arab Spring is part of people realising that we can do better.
But that was what people in Egypt thought. They sort of had a revolution, and they overthrew the leader, and now the new guy that's in charge is doing the same again, and they're doing the same sort of revolution again to get him out. So, is there any sort of good guys in politics who actually want to
you've got to come to a good guy eventually. Somewhere along the line, you've got to come to a good guy.
There's one president of somewhere. It's in South America, and gonna piss me off. I can't remember which country it's for, but
Is the guy who donates like
Yeah.
90% of
yeah,
his
that guy.
proceeds
Oh,
to
shit.
charity?
Oh, yeah.
Drives around in
Venezuela.
beat-up
Yeah.
car.
Venezuelan.
Venezuela.
I think it's Venezuelan.
Well, was it
Or Uruguay.
Hugo Chavez or somebody?
Yeah, where's Hugo Chavez? Though, is he Venezuela?
I can't
Or is
remember.
he-
He's
You-
one of the he's one of the crazy
Yeah.
ones though. Hugo Chavez is off his nut.
Yeah,
He's
probably
like
the one with the
Castro's mate.
fancy hats. You got the ones like, you know, the Civil War, the cocaine. and the
I
fancy
read about
hats.
that though. I read about what we were on about
Yeah.
Screw. Yeah, I also read the other day that Richard Branson had pledged. I think it's something like, I think it was half of his fortune on his death to the fund that Bill Gates and Warren Buffett set up, where they ask billionaires to donate half their wealth when they die to this fund, and they go out and
Give it to African warlords
Pretty
who spend
much.
it on new golden AKs
Yeah, I was
and
gonna
teeth.
say, I've heard
Pretty
about-
That's pretty
yeah.
cool, that.
Have you heard about the Bill Gates eugenics movement? That's pretty messed up.
No.
I was chatting about it with Midas today. We were on about like eugenics in the war that like the Nazis did.
They were
And,
like,
like-
trying to breed, like when they
Yeah,
had like
yeah,
the
like
villages
sort
on
of
foot.
selective breeding
Like
with human and
sick
shit.
experiments on
Yeah.
people,
Very
find out
human,
like,
isn't it?
like seeing what they could do. Like,
Yeah,
what
no, they-
happens if we rip this guy's eye out and then fucking tear his arms off and legs and see what happens to him then. And there's like, I don't think he's directly I don't even know if he
Be
knows
harmless.
he's doing it. But Bill Gates is like, he's got something. I don't know exactly what it is. He's got something to do with some like fucked up foundation somewhere.
Really?
It might be in Africa or something. That's
Holy
to
shit.
do with that. Yeah. Google it. It's like there's a lot of info on it.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of shit.
Is it just
Bill
like
Gates eugenics.
unfortunate
Yeah.
same name or?
Imagine we're trashing Bill Gates and it's some fucking evil guy called William Gates.
I don't know. Don't get me wrong. I don't know how much Bill Gates. I'm not saying like he's like an absolute like he's a Nazi. I don't even know,
Yeah, yeah,
know
yeah.
much about it. I just read about it. And,
He's
like,
got some secret bunker underground where he's just like all sinister music and he's got a cape and a twiggly moustache. Yeah.
No,
A
big up to
monocle.
Bill Gates, man. When he dies, he's going to like donate the biggest charitable sum
Yeah.
in like the history
Human
of
history,
the.
as long as it goes to the right places.
I think
I think it'll go to his charity, won't it?
I don't know where it's going.
Well,
I
that's the
just
thing. I
like
heard that though. When people say like they're donating it to their own charity, like there's Mark Zuckerberg that said he'd do it. Guy that made Facebook,
Yeah,
Bill
yeah.
Gates, and there was one more I can't remember. And I read it. It's report on it saying that as much as it seems like a nice gesture, and some of it will go to the people that need it, most of it they just put it into their own charities. That's essentially their own
paying
business.
their relatives and
Yeah,
shit.
it's paying for the people that set it up. Basically,
Hmm.
they're like getting their money and then saying, so they've got this is their tower of money, and then that's their tower of money for the charity, and they're basically getting the money and stacking it in half there, putting it there. So everyone's like, oh, that's so generous, you know, and it's like, but now it's just all going to trickle back straight into that pile.
Yeah.
And it's like
In
it's
one
not
pocket
really
out the
doing-
other.
Yeah, it's not
Sort of
really. But that's quite a cynical outlook. Might be doing better than that. But.
We'll find out when Bill pops his clogs. You can't have long ago. That guy's got to be
Oh,
mid-50s.
you can't say that.
Of course I can.
Poor
He's got-
guy.
That guy's
Might
got
be
to be
listening to this.
That guy's must be in his mid-50s. He ain't got long ago. And he's been running a company since 1970-something, so he's not going
He's
to
in
get...
his 50s and he's
Jobs
not
and
got
David
long to
Pirates.
go, this being, you know, like the 1800s.
Dude, he's been running a company for 30 years. He ain't going to make it past 80. He'll have had so much stress on his
Yeah,
plate.
still, he's got a good 30 years then, hasn't he? Like, it's still...
It'll be fair. It'll go quick. We'll find out. We'll find out what happens when he pops his clogs. We'll see what's up.
I think it'll be a lot worse going on by the time he's dead. Like, than
It's true, yeah, the planet will probably be falling
Like-
apart. Hence me 50 years prediction.
giant like you put it in. It'll all go into the fund of save the humans against the giant radioactive ants and
Yeah.
spiders.
With the eyes that shoot lasers and shit.
What's the
Yeah.
leader ant called?
What?
What's the leader ant called?
I don't know. They don't.
I don't
Really,
know.
they don't really have a name. Obviously, humans can't understand their language.
What?
It's so
This is-
complex.
This is either
Wait, is this
deep or
right?
some sort of cultural joke that I'm missing out on.
I thought they were
it's
talking about ants
just
and
a horrific fear of. Well, I don't say the fear of mine. It's not really crossed my mind that much, but I think everyone should be scared. You know, it's not. Oh, you've got an irrational fear of giant radioactive fire-breathing ants. That's not an irrational fear. That's a rational thing to be scared of. Because if they were real, you'd need to be scared of them.
See that if they were real bit, that's where it
Yeah.
kind of falls on its arse a bit.
If they were real, would they have a use? You know, they could
Remember the giant
No,
ants
they'd
on
be
fire
delicious. You never know.
That's
Yeah.
what I
Giant
keep
ants
thinking
on the
about.
floor.
They'd be
They're
bigger
shit
than them.
scary.
We're talking like the size of houses. Like,
It would end world hunger.
you know.
What's that one?
Yeah, we won't be able to
Oh,
eat
free.
the ants though. Like we'd be feeding that.
Awesome.
Well, it would end world hunger for the ants. Like,
These ants already exist.
It would end world hunger because it would
I
just
hope
eat
not.
everyone.
They're just feeding on us little by little now. All those ant bites you're getting so
Yeah,
and shit.
we're here, like the government, in league with these ants that are living underground at the moment. Like all these
this
secret,
podcast has gone to a weird place.
all these secret world organisations like the Illuminati and
So
Rothschild.
they're not reptilians. They're
No.
ants.
Whoa.
Right.
Next week's special guest David Icke.
The ants, right? They're mind controlling our government in these secret organisations and like using eugenics to breed us into the perfect big fat plump juicy humans. And when we're ripe, then the ants will like come back to take the surface world and they'll have the perfect food supply.
You think if you spread that on YouTube, how long do you think that would take for people to believe it?
Oh Christ, people probably straight away.
Yeah,
people
tomorrow,
will
just all
people
over
will
the
believe
Can we edit
anything.
a video together with what that Heinrich just said, and we'll put it on the internet and see how
Alright.
long it takes.
See how-
for
see
people
who
to
goes
see.
viral.
Send it to Rupert Murdoch. He'd have it on the Sun like tomorrow. It'd be just everywhere, and all the fucking
It's real.
dimwits that
YouTube
read
said
it
so.
would fucking believe it. Like they just read it like it's the Bible.
Read, that's a big word for sun readers, man. I think they more look at the pictures and kind of guess what's going on.
Ooh.
Just saying.
Ah.
Just saying.
I'm with you on that though. Fuck
Yeah.
the Sun.
Yeah, man.
We'll just have to like go to a butcher shop and get loads of different animals like in League of Gentlemen and put like some horrible creation together and just
Never
leave it like,
watched.
look what they've done.
League of Gentlemen used to freak me out.
I've never seen it. What
I
is
haven't
it?
seen
It
it.
was like was it BBC?
Yeah, I
Sketch
think
show?
it was, yeah. Yeah,
So it's
it
like
wasn't
a
so much a
comedy,
sketch show,
I
it was
know
more
it had
sort of
minstrels
like
on
a,
it.
Was it not? Was it not sketches? I
It-
thought it was like.
it kind
Oh,
of
it's
was,
like
but it was
dark
sort of like
comedy.
all together in one sort of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
in one
It-
town, like an
yeah.
on-running sort of narrative.
Yeah. So it was kind of part sketch though, but
Yeah.
no, it was that. Was it the shop owners?
Yeah, the shop owners.
Freak me out.
Ronda Rousey freaks me out.
Ronda Rousey, go on.
Unbelievable.
Just-
Unbelievable, Ronda Rousey.
I
I
know.
thought she was quite attractive until I saw her fight, and then the whole if I didn't make her come, she'd rip my arm off.
She
It
is-
kind
she
of
is
did it
attractive.
for me. Like
Holy
so
shit.
attractive.
you'd have to cook her breakfast, and you know.
You wouldn't
I
wanna
don't care. I'd cook her breakfast.
The
and go through that
greatest-
ordeal.
the
I'll just put
greatest-
it out there.
You would shit yourself going on dates if like, you know, she kept trying to hold your hand. You're like, oh, get away from us.
Crushes it in those
Why would you want to get
man-sized
in that
paws.
Because she might put you in an armbar.
On a date.
Yeah.
If shit
You
got
might offend
crazy,
her.
if
You might
shit got-
offend her.
Yeah, man.
No, it's like you go swimming with her, and she finds out you can't swim, and you say, "Have you got any armbands?" And she mishears you and thinks you say, "You've got any armbars?"
Oh no! She's I've got a flying one. I've got one.
Well, I've been
break
waiting on this
card.
one.
breaks it clean off.
In the water.
Wouldn't surprise us,
Feasts
man.
on it after.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
still, Liz Carmouche she put up a good fight, you know.
A
When she was
good
on her back, I
Yeah,
thought
man.
that was it, man.
Yeah,
And you
it's true.
saw her face sort of just like twisting and grinding and
The
then
one,
yeah,
the
just
one thing
threw her
that
off.
let me down with that fight is the introduction where Bruce Buffer didn't say
Let you down?
fighting out of the kitchen, because that would have been fantastic. Just to see him lose his job.
That would have been an emphatic way to lose your
That
job.
would have been
it's
absolutely.
correct.
I would happily lose my job for that. He was presented with such
I
a
think,
great opportunity, and he
Yeah.
didn't seize it.
I don't know. I think he'd keep his job. I don't think Dana would fire him. It'd change the UFC experience. I think he could get away with fighting out of the kitchen.
I was gonna say because for all the promos didn't it show like an interview with Dana White as he's getting into the car saying when we're going to see women in the UFC and he had said never.
Yeah.
And that was like kind of like the beef for the women against Dana White.
Yeah, yeah.
They'll do more than break your heart.
Well,
Yeah,
Ronda
that
Rousey-
was- yeah.
Ronda Rousey actually met with Dana White, and it was after that conversation that he agreed for women to be in the UFC.
That's unbelievable. That's
Yeah.
a big achievement for just one person.
Just women's MMA as well, you know.
Yeah.
The whole thing is,
I thought it was going to happen years ago. I thought it was going to happen when Gina Carano was a massive star before she decided to do. She decided to do movies.
was she in Cage Rage?
Oh,
Or was she
God.
like popular like on the sort of, did you get aired on Sky Sports, her fights a lot?
Gina Carano.
'Cause her name rings a bell.
Sports. She might have done. I think she might have fought in Elite XC, and I think that might have been on Sky Sports. or
Yeah, I
something.
think that was on Extreme.
Yeah, that's what it was on. I think Elite XC was on Extreme. I know she fought a few times in Strikeforce. That's the organisation that I think I remember her from. I'm not too good. I just remember Gina Carano destroying everybody. She destroyed. There was a guy. I can't remember his first name, but he went by the nickname Cyborg, and he was this big, manly, white, sort of
Sharp.
insanely tattooed dude. And his wife went by the same nickname,
Same
Cyborg, and both their last names were Santos. and they were both just big, manly, tattooed things, but one of them was a woman.
And they both fought.
Carano. Yeah, they both fought. They were both professional mixed martial artists, and Carano fought Cyborg and fucked Cyborg up. And I thought back then that there was going to be a UFC women's division, but it never materialised.
Yeah, I've heard of her. Cyborg.
Yeah,
and she was sort of like, the one to beat.
Yeah, she was the one to beat for a while, man. There was Carano, and then when Carano decided to do movies and shit, Cyborg was the person to beat for a while, and then after Cyborg, it's been Ronda Rousey, and I mean they tried to get a Ronda Rousey Cyborg Santos fight to happen. I want to say the girl's name was Evangelista Cyborg Santos, but Cyborg fought the weight above Rousey. So they said that. Tried every excuse in the book to say that Cyborg wouldn't be able to come down in weight, saying she would die if she tried to cut that much weight and all the rest of it.
As soon as you say that, I just don't know why I just get the mental image of these two absolutely huge fishwives battering each other inside the octagon.
That's how it go down.
I don't like UFC that much compared to professional wrestling, and I know it's fake, but that's why it's hilarious, because it's just such more entertainment value. If they spiced UFC up with, I don't know,
explosions and tables and shit,
fighting sharks.
Why would you want to watch someone like pretend to fuck each other up when you could watch the UFC and sort of, witness the skill of the sport?
Because I don't know, as much as I like watching people get their arms broken and getting the face all blooded up, I just like watching some guy going, I'm going to fight you next week at SummerSlam, and then putting backwards through a table. That just serves, I don't know, I just find that more entertaining than two guys actually hurting each other.
You do have to wait a whole week just for something to happen.
But, yeah, exactly.
Then it's epic.
UFC announced the matches at months in advance, and then they build that up,
It doesn't have all the theatrics.
It doesn't need theatrics, it's just awesome in its own.
It is awesome on its own, but...
you watch
the theatrics. I understand that there's a market for the theatrics. It's a
children's market.
It's for 80-year-olds and sad 40-year-old men. So why are you two guys? I mean,
I'd rather watch like a black belt guy, do proper jiu-jitsu than some sort of funny dancing around.
I'd rather watch a guy strangle him with a black belt as his mate comes up behind him with a steel chair
and hits him.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's not. I think they're two very, very different.
I don't think you can compare them.
Yeah, I think they're two very, very different animals. I think. Yeah, just very. One's kind of
entertaining and the other's not.
One's kind of a drama.
Yeah, I was thinking that one's more like this male soap.
It is. It's a soap for men with
and then one's like watching like a sport, like a proper sport.
Yeah. I do think you've got to be quite into it. I think it's a bit of an enthusiast sport. I think it's the most exciting enthusiast sport in the world. It kicks cricket's ass.
Man. And then like the speed it's come to how popular it is now, it's just insane.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So such a rapid growth, even from when I started watching it.
When did you start watching it?
I started watching it in about 2007-ish.
When was it UFC?
Yeah, I was watching the UFC and I was watching the very last few Pride fights, because I believe Pride finished in 2007.
Did.
But I started watching it back then, and to see the growth from 2007 until now is absolutely stupid. And within a year or two they'll be in the Madison Square Garden in New York, and then they'll have done...
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, man, they'll have done every sort of major arena.
Because New York has sort of some sort of law, don't they, that doesn't allow it?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think there was something involving a very powerful trade union in New York State, and they're a trade union for they're a trade union for casino employees. The UFC is owned by two guys called the Fertitta brothers, and the Fertitta brothers made their money by they own several casinos in Vegas. This union that's very powerful in New York State have said that they're basically lobbying against the against mixed martial arts becoming legal in New York State until the Fertitta brothers say that their employees, the sort of the union of choice for their employees, the one that will point them towards, is this trade union that's very powerful in New York, and this deal would be worth like, I think it's like tens of millions for this trade union if the Fertitta brothers were, if they said that their casino employees should go to this union rather than another one.
Right.
So it's almost like a blackmail situation, really.
Is that even allowed?
Well, I'm not sure
In
it's as
America,
simple as
anything's
that.
allowed.
Yeah, man, if you've got enough money.
Yeah, literally.
Do you know, like with the UFC, they're not allowed. They've got like vigorous drug testing and everything, and
Well,
Jeez.
I'm not sure about vigorous, but
well, they've got drug testing
Yeah.
nonetheless. Do you think it would be better if they had sort of a division where they actually let them take drugs?
yes,
And they were just
absolutely.
on steroids, and you just get these hulking like 12-foot like
Yes.
legs, like arms like tree trunks. They're
That's
on
a Frankie Boyle
they're on
joke, yeah.
LSD, and they're terrified and hallucinating. And they're just fighting giant reptiles and
I would be-
ripping each other's arms off and
As a
beating
mixed
them
martial
with
arts
it.
fan, I would be absolutely all for that, because I think there's always going to be guys who will try to exploit the rules to make themselves as good as is possible. So if you said, look, there's your steroids division, there's your testosterone replacement therapy division, go nuts, juice yourselves up to the eyeballs, and then you said, right, for those of us who want to know that we've done it properly, there's another division.
That's a good idea.
You'll
Make
still
it-
get
make
cheat.
it
You'll
fair,
still get cheats though.
a lot fairer.
Yeah, it's
You
true. You
still
still
get
get people trying
people
to
to beat the
claim
system.
the
You
word.
get
yeah.
more people watching the drug one though. It's just the idea of
Yeah.
two 12-foot
You're
guys on
telling me you would.
steroids
You'd get, like-
hallucinating and crying whilst killing each other.
You'd get like late pride crowds at the sort of unsteroids UFC, where everybody would like clap for guard passes and things, and then you'd get early UFC crowds for the
Like-
steroids division, where everybody's yelling "Fuck him up,
And
kill him!"
you get like the old Roman like pleb gladiator. Like
You got Dana White
like,
sitting in
isn't
his
it-
box at the top, deciding who
Thumbs
lives
up.
and who dies. Dana would definitely be at the steroids division. I'm sorry, the Fertitta brothers have both got the sort of the non, but Dana would
The
be
Diaz
there in
brothers would
amongst
be there.
all the fucking beer and people killing each other and shit at this steroids division
Yeah.
UFC.
It would be fantastic though. I'd definitely watch that. I'd watch that over wrestling. Old school gladiator battles where they don't have weapons. They just have to. They have like a cocktail of drugs that they have to choose. They have to choose like 3 out of 10 different
They've got to choose their
Class A
power-ups.
drugs. So you can have like DMT
Heroin.
and cocaine versus LSD and ketamine.
That would be brilliant. They've got, instead of sponsors, they've got the names of which drugs they're on written across their shorts.
Yeah, various dealers from like back alley
Got, like,
Detroit.
DS numbers.
The dealers come up with the in
Spot-
between the rounds. Hey man, can I sell you one of these?
Sponsored by, I don't know, like Tyrone, like LaShonda.
Straight out of area code 274.
Yeah.
That would be tremendous. A nice big steroids division in the UFC. You can have them all in the same weight class because they'd all be like
Yeah.
300 pounds.
No, that's the great thing. You can, I know
5'7".
you can just have like the really spindly smackheads fighting like the giant leviathans as well. Yeah, I don't know, like Big Michael just push his hand straight through his chest and tear his heart out.
This is sounding more and more like celebrity deathmatch.
stare as
Missed
it,
that
and
show.
rainbows and snakes pour out of it because his mind's completely gone, and then they have to put him down like a rabid animal at the end because he's just gone completely wild.
He's broken both of his legs and he's flailing around on his back.
His brain's just completely overheated and started swelling, and he's just gone completely insane. Starts trying to rip himself out of the cage, and the crowd are trying to get away, and
It's chaos.
Bruce Buffer's there with a bloody cattle prod trying to tase him to the ground.
Imagine if after that UFC that was in Brazil recently, Gand, if Jose Aldo was like a 12-foot, 300-pound steroided freak and he went running into the stands. He leaps
Holy
over the
shit.
top of the cage just like Aldo did, but 300-pound Aldo goes crazy
He
in the
goes
stands.
to round 2 and the ring girl comes out and he picks her up and rips her in half like a wet paper bag.
He climbs to the top of the arena with a and they send helicopters up and shit.
Bruce Buffer in a little biplane. I don't know why Bruce Buffer is like, fuck it, this is in your job description.
Yeah.
It'll be burning the
What is he fool doing?
It's
What
like
you doing up there, Rampage? Get down here, man.
Everyone's wondering what Bruce Buffer's doing, but it's the finer points of his contract that if anyone is to go wild, he's got to kill them.
He's got to put them down. Well, without music again, we have to get our shit together because this is the most unprofessional
Not
shit.
really without music, have you though?
Yeah,
Well-
next up.
I hope this doesn't come through in the recording. I'm really sorry. There's some poor hippie shit being played next door.
Power of editing.
It's nice. It's sort of it's in the background.
I guess.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised to hear that hippie shit coming from you and not me. With you and your I
Hey,
watch self-help
there is-
tapes crap.
There is
that
nothing
you've
wrong
come
with
out
Xavier
We're not-
Rudd. Powerful Xavier
powerful.
Rudd.
You and your
Xavier Rudd.
self-help. I remember it was last year as I was moving into I think it was just as I was moving into the Triangle and we were having a drink and you saying, "Oh, I used to be like you, you know, like dark and everything." And I used to started watching self-help tapes.
Yeah, man.
Bollocks.
Dude.
Can't be doing with it at all.
Dude,
It's
there is a video.
crap. Absolute crap.
There's a video I'll send you.
And I
it's-
won't watch it.
It's exactly. If you don't do that, that's like all those people that don't do drugs that sort of that class drugs as you know the worst things in the entire world when really they've got no experience of like what they're talking about. I am going to send you a video, right?
How long is it?
It's like about 6 minutes long. You will
Oh,
not make it.
that's all right,
you
then.
will not make it six minutes through this video. This video, it's a sort of designed to like help you sleep and shit. And it's just this guy, and he gets you to like consider different words and phrases and stuff. The first one that he says is like consider the word soft, and you've got your eyes closed. and you're soft and
See, you were playing that the other day, and I kind of tripped out. I don't know if I was really high or I distracted. Every time I was like concentrating.
really high in my presence. I don't do drugs, sir. How dare you?
But we
What's a
we
drug?
all
I
was
have
it an
never
after-fuel?
smoked weed.
James was
before.
completely.
Yeah, man. That
James
was
was completely gone.
that was a good night, man. We got James too high.
Klingo was just.
Klingo was pretty out of it as well, man.
Yeah.
I was
But then
there.
I was
wasn't I?
there trying to. Well, I wasn't drinking that night, and I was
Yeah.
just. Well, like I said, I had a shitload of weed.
Was this the Friday?
No, this was like September,
Yeah,
Yeah.
this was ages ago, man.
and then he put it on, and I was just kind of concentrating. And every time, I just got this weird kind of. See, it was a roller coaster rush, and I kind of thought you get that when you're stoned anyway. But it was just every time I was concentrating on these words, it was pretty good. It was pretty. It worked. I don't know. I might try. I was actually going to say.
We're gonna have to try it again.
I'm gonna try it again when I'm sober and see
Yeah,
if it
man.
was that off or was just actually high because I can't figure
That,
it out.
that shit will knock you out.
But it
There's a
was
few
good.
different-
There's another one as
James
well.
freaked out for a bit though.
Yeah,
he
man.
freaked out for a bit. He was like, whoa, whoa, whoa,
Yeah.
and then that's what we say. Yeah, let's just.
What's that Tibetan one you always show it?
And that's more
that's
like
a good one.
chant, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
like a
that always sounds
Yeah,
me.
that's like that's.
I like that one.
There's loads of videos on like lucid dreaming and stuff where they
Green
sort of,
tea.
like you can train yourself like as you're going to sleep to like basically train your mind into start lucid dreaming. But
What's lucid?
Sorry.
lucid dreaming's where you're in control of your own
I've
dreams.
heard about that. That's what I really
Yeah.
recognise it.
Yeah, there's ways you
Well,
can train your brain into controlling your own
something-
dreams.
I'll let you explain.
Yeah, but then I'd never want to wake up.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's. That's why I always saw
Black
it.
Inception.
Saw it in a.
That's what Alpha Brain's going to help you with
How do
as
we
well.
control our dreams, Tim?
I don't know. I don't know what the deal with lucid dreaming is. I've never really like looked into any of that kind of stuff. I've touched on like little bits of like hypnosis videos and stuff like that. But
It's meant to be quite like spiritual. It's meant to be like quite a spiritual experience though, because you're able to
No.
sort of like delve into your subconscious and sort of.
It's just it releases L-tryptophan, I think, and that's a chemical that produces when you dream. And like, if you take sort of, you know, the Alpha Brain pill sort of thing,
you can take
And
like
green tea.
supplements. Yeah.
yeah, that releases it, and
Green
that's,
tea, did you say?
Yeah,
green tea
green-
helps as
drink
well.
green tea.
Yeah,
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 man.
drink
Green tea
green
before
tea
you
at
go to
night,
bed,
I've been-
Yeah.
I always drink it.
and you have more chance of having lucid dreams.
Green tea before you go to bed. Last thing on the night, man. Different experience.
There might not
Green
be like
tea.
you know.
Green tea. If you
probably
were
good for you, green tea.
hypothetically to smoke marijuana, then if you were to hypothetically
Don't do it,
drink
kids.
a sort of a green tea before you were to engage in this hypothetical marijuana smoking, that could produce some. Don't do it, kids. Talk to
Really?
Frank. That may enhance the effect somewhat.
I'll try that.
Yeah, man.
No, you've got a point though. Like,
Yeah.
whatever you do, don't it's an incredibly bad idea to have an enlightening spiritual moment where you gain a greater understanding of yourself and the universe around you. You should be a mindless automaton producing shit that nobody needs. That's what we
Preach,
want.
man. Preach.
I like it, bringing back to the heavy stuff.
No, it's like essentially doing the Marxism module in.
Yes, big Marx is big.
I hate it because essentially just sitting there for 2 hours going, you're getting exploited. There's nothing you can do about it. It's a waste of time.
Yeah, it gets
all right,
a bit-
fair enough. I'll just
It's a bit
get drunk.
deterministic. Like it's a bit like kind of assumes everything. Like it's a bit too. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, no, I mean everything makes assumptions, but it's sort of like this is exactly how it is. Like, it's very
Who's this
sorry,
good though?
Karl
This is
Marx.
Karl Marx's theory.
Karl Marx.
Was he around in the late 1800s? Was
yeah,
it?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
around that time.
Yeah, he died like I think he's been dead quite like at least 30
Yeah.
years, hasn't he?
He's been dead a lot
So,
longer than that.
For me, who knows nothing much about him, like, how would you explain like what he did, who he was?
Socialist.
Go for it, Screw.
Yeah, communist. Basically, he's basically like
Almost like the
figure.
father.
Yeah, the figurehead of critical. The critical world, like not like capitalism, like the complete opposite. Like
So that capitalism is sort of just like
Follow
like it's
economic
based,
structure.
yeah, it's
Oh,
like,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
no,
it's
I
a cultural and social construct which is essentially enslaving all of us and all of this. But I don't know. I don't like thinking about it too much. So
yeah, I don't buy into it all.
because there's nothing,
What
because
Marx
there's
says.
nothing we can do about it. That's the point. Like I don't
Yeah.
like thinking about things that I can't at least have an effect on in some way, or that
So he,
humans in general can't really have.
so
an
he was
effect
just
on
a communist, was he?
Yeah, well, he
Well,
he
socialist.
How did he-
written the Communist Manifesto, which is basically like
Oh, right.
the framework for the whole thing. Like he was the first.
So is
we
it-
weren't the first to come up with the theory.
Is it
but,
like sort of a party?
Well,
like-
now it's
Yeah.
like a political party, but it's like a whole. It's more than that. It's
Well,
like
yeah, it's a
whole
party, but it's not like party
Philosophy,
house
yeah,
and
it's like a
vodka
full
kind of
Philosophy,
party.
philosophy and type of thing, his perspective on the world.
Yeah.
All right.
Think of it this way: it's a party, but it's a really shit party where no one turns up and there's no music.
Sounds terrible.
I don't know.
Marxism.
Shall be no part.
He's an interesting guy, man. I mean, I haven't looked into him too much. I mean, beyond what Wikipedia knows, I don't know shit
Yeah.
about.
No, I
Karl
prefer
Marx.
looking into like philosophical arguments and like philosophers as opposed to like sociologists and criminologists and what have you. It's like the part of the course I enjoy the most. So,
Yeah.
but I don't get to do much of it until next year. So,
No, because we did a bit on the Enlightenment, which was more philosophers and stuff.
yeah, was that in modernities?
Yeah, that's like
The modernities, the first semester.
We've got modernities.
pre-modernity then.
Are you in first year? So
Yeah.
You've got
First.
modernities next year, first
Yeah, I was
semester.
going to say
Then.
it's next year. We've got
Oh,
modernities.
I just meant like modernities in the time period, not like.
No, the
spiritual.
actual module.
Oh, right.
which
Yeah,
focuses
modernities.
on
I just study modernism. So
It's cool having so many ology degrees in and around. It's,
you say so
Used to-
many, we're all doing the same. So yeah.
yeah, at least there's three of you.
301, it's all complete shit.
Nah, it's a good, man. It makes for interesting conversation.
Yeah, I don't know, I just have like qualms of people on my course, like just a lot of them are just sort of like,
Let's not go into your hatred of the general public,
Yeah.
Heinrich.
fine.
Well done for controlling yourself, man. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
Yeah,
shall we wrap it up there, or?
It's about 50 minutes in.
Yeah, I think 50 minutes is pretty cool.
Got some heavy shit in there.
Yeah, man, that's a lot
Always
of
ends,
shit.
did this last week where it kind of like veered off and then...
Do we want to end?
We'll
No,
just-
saying
we'll
that,
just-
it's
we'll
been
just
deep
keep
all the
talking
way
for a
through.
bit
We had the
if you want.
deep argument about the world
Yeah, I
getting
like the
taken
deep
over
stuff,
by
though.
giant ants. Like, that's the
So we
shit.
did discuss giant ants. Is it fire? Did they have fire?
They breathe fire, yeah. Some of them
fire.
do. Only the males breathe fire, though, to heat the eggs.
So is it the females that've got the laser eyes going on?
They don't have laser eyes. That's stupid. Like,
Sorry,
I don't know
that's
what's
That's
the
the-
Power Rangers movie.
So
isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Giant metal ant.
That's what I was
That's
thinking
what
of.
it is.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yes. Ivan Ooze.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not like Marx and capitalism you need to be worried about. It's giant fire-breathing ants. So,
That's what I've learned from today.
radiation, don't mess with it. There we go. Moral of this week's podcast: radiation, don't mess with it.
You're gonna have to do one of these every week now. I'm gonna have
the
to
new
come up with
moral.
Heinrich's moral.
The moral of the day.
Heinrich's morals.
Oh, yeah.
It's a dark, dark place.
God. We need to sort of
We'll get the music sorted out eventually, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
we
we
These
need
are
need
just
more
like-
money and more equipment.
yeah, from these money trees we've all planted and shit.
Money tree.
Oh yeah, we forgot about that.
Yeah, I forgot about that, didn't we?
Bro, what?
Alright, Rick, sing us out.
I'm not singing you out, you need to get it up and play it.